Before I start the video, a quick service announcement. I set a new goal for myself that I want to get to 1,000 subscribers within the next year. And if I reach it before the end of next year, so before the end of 2022, I will buy a project car and I will let you guys choose which one I should get. I got a couple of ideas in my mind, and I think they're awesome ideas and also different builds, but I want to set a goal for myself, and this is the goal I set. So if you want to help me, please subscribe to this channel, and when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I will buy a project car. So stay tuned for that. Thank you very much and enjoy this video. This is Jesse from JRNYMODS. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're gonna talk about my 1-year ownership of the Mazdaspeed 3. So I compiled a list of everything that I spent on the car thus far, and then we're gonna talk about this different subjects, because there's not everything on this list that is of owning this car. You know, there's some tuning parts that you don't really need to do if you own this car, but I did, and I want to let you know how much it costed and what I did exactly. So I made a couple of different areas on spending on the car, and we will go through it. So right now I'm just driving along. I finally had some peace at night after work and stuff, so that's the only time I can make a video right now. I'm super busy, so yeah, that's just the way it is. As you can see, it's crowded as fuck on the street, so you know, Corona is definitely over. Everybody is going back to work, going out again, so that is what it is. Okay, I'm going to drive on the highway, so I got a little bit more peace while talking about everything that I spent on the car. As you can hear, maybe you can hear the blow-off valve, which is awesome. So fucking great. I know it's not really that good for your car to have this, but honestly, at this point, it still gives me so much miles when I drive, and it's just a really great upgrade. I will change it at some point probably, but for now I'm still enjoying it, and thus far no problems. I do get an occasional afterfire, not a backfire. Backfire is on the intake and afterfire is from the exhaust. So that's what I have sometimes. Like if I'm driving for like half an hour, I maybe get it like once or twice, and especially on the first to second shift or second to third. After that, it's basically non-existent anymore. So I don't know what the reason for that is, but it's not that bad. It's really just a little pop, nothing like a big explosion or whatever. So I think it is not that bad. I read online that afterfires isn't really a problem, and for me, if I only have them like once or twice while driving for half an hour, I'm not really afraid anything bad will happen. So I'm just gonna keep driving with it. Alright, so when I bought the car, it had 111,000 kilometers on the odometer. I put 12,000 extra kilometers on it. That's not that much, but you know, quarantine and stuff, I didn't get to drive to work as much. I did a lot of fun driving, you know, just took it out at night and just drive for a while. So I did that a lot because, yeah, you know, the car is new, and I wanted to drive really bad. So I did that a lot, and I went to family and that stuff. That's a little bit further into the country, so that was pretty much the driving that I did. And I calculated every time I went to put the gas in the tank, and that came to a grand total of 1,811 euros. So that's quite a lot of money if you think about it. But yeah, then again, gas in the Netherlands is expensive as shit. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I made a little calculation about how much I've spent and stuff, and so I drove a little bit less than 12,000 kilometers. That was 1,023 liters, and it came to 11.7 kilometers per liter, so that's not that bad. I will do a conversion from liters to miles now in the video. It comes up what the calculations was, and that's actually not that bad for a car like this. I've been looking at my dash and it says something else, but when I did all the calculations, and probably it's a little bit off, but then again it isn't that off. So like 1 in 12 1 liter for 12 kilometers isn't that bad for a car with this kind of horsepower. So I'm pretty happy with it. And that was around 14 cents per kilometer. Also, I will put the conversion in miles also in this video right now. Then things like insurance is not that expensive because I've been driving for quite some time now, so I got the maximum discount. I don't know how it is in other countries, but in the Netherlands, if you've been driving for a long time, you get a discount on your insurance. So the longer you drive without accidents, the more discount you get on your insurance. So I only pay around, I believe it was like 70 euros a month, something like that. The grand total was 943 euros for a year, so a little bit less than 1,000 euros a year. I don't know if that's bad. I know for in England getting your car insured, especially fast cars, is expensive, but I think 1,000 euros a year isn't cheap. But also, yeah, it is what it is. You want to drive a fast car, so you have to pay for it. The road tax in the Netherlands are like 200 euros per 3 months, something like that. Where I live, it depends on where you live how much it is, but that was 800 euros for a year, so also not that bad. So that makes the total for this category is 3,545 euros. If you think about it, that's a lot of money for that's just driving. That's not like maintenance and stuff. That's just for driving. So next, maintenance, like the most important one for y'all, I think, to know what you spend normally on a car of this age. So it is a Mazdaspeed 3 from 2011 with now 125,000 kilometers on the odometer. That's what it's at right now. So maintenance. So in the Netherlands you have the technical examination. I don't know if you have that in, for example, the United States. I know they have it in Germany, but it's called the TÜV or TÜV or whatever, and it's every 2 years, I believe. In the Netherlands, it's every year. It's yearly, annually. So that was 45 euros normally for just a checkup, and if some things are broken or failed or whatever, then you have to pay for it. Just the checkup is 45 euros. They found some corroded brake lines, which obviously is a bad point on the car. So if you won't fix it, it will fail your examination, or your MOT, I think it's called in English. What the fuck is this guy doing? Can you go a little bit out of the way, please? Yo, good luck with it, man. All right, so that has to be fixed, and the grand total of that bill was, let me check, 250 euros. So honestly, that wasn't that bad, you know, with labor and fixing whatever. And I always, when I go to a garage or whatever, I think it's going to be more than I wanted to be. So this time I was actually surprised that it was only 250 euros. Then I did the service, which was my latest video. The service with the oil change, the filters, the spark plugs, the cabin filters and stuff, and the oil. Well, I don't know if I said it already, but the oil also. That was a grand total of 180 euros. And the most expensive part on it was the oil. It's around 100 bucks for just the oil, so only 80 for all the other maintenance stuff, which is honestly not that bad. I did it myself, so the labor is just my own time. When you go bring it to a shop, I don't know how much it is then. It's probably going to be more expensive. That's why I do it myself. It's really easy and fun to work on your own cars, and honestly, I never did it on this car. it took me a little bit longer than I would have expected, but I think if I would do it again, I can do it in around 2 hours. Yeah, probably. So it's not that long time to do it. Maybe your first time you're gonna struggle a little bit, but it's very easy to work on this car, specifically on the surface maintenance stuff. When I just had the car, I had alignment issues, or at least at high speeds my car started shaking a little bit, so I went to get it aligned. That was 110 euros. So I don't know if that's a lot, but I think it was normal. They spend around 1.5 to 2 hours fixing my car, so I think it's yeah, normal rate. So a total of that, so the service parts, that's the only thing I had for maintenance this year. So honestly not that bad, and the grand total for that was 539 euros. So compared to the just driving stuff of 3.5, this was honestly just, you know, you think you have maintenance on your car, so this is not that bad. That's around 50 euros a month, a little bit less even. Now we're coming to the optional parts, the things that I changed about my car, which maybe only one part of it is a thing that you have to do when you buy this car. The other things are optional if you want to do them or not. So I will start with the thing that I don't think is really optional, but you have to do, and that's the high pressure fuel pump. So for me, I bought the Corksport high pressure fuel pump, and I knew a guy from the Mazda group here in the Netherlands, and he installed it for 50 bucks. I bought the Corksport high pressure fuel pump for 200 bucks, so the total of that was 250 bucks. Wait, let me just, man, I don't see shit. It's dark as fuck. What is this guy doing? Wow. Those guys are really fucking idiots. So the high pressure fuel pump from Corksport with installing was 250 bucks, and I don't think it's really optional, because that's a failure point on these cars, and if you don't do it and you start tuning, so maybe do a remap or whatever, it can be really bad for your car. And the original one is also pretty weak. Even if you don't tune it, there's a chance of you breaking it, and if it breaks, your car can run lean and eventually you can blow up your engine. So I think that's one thing you want to avoid on these cars, blowing up your engine, or with every other car. So make sure you just do this. So that's not really optional, but you can drive the car without it. Let's say it with it. So the first one from my tuning list is the caliper paint. I paint the calipers yellow. Paint the caliper. Jesus, that's hard to say. I painted the calipers yellow. The kit was 40 bucks, and then for me just the labor. So I just kept it at 40 bucks. So that wasn't that bad. It was a bitch job to do. It took me a long time, but yeah, 40 bucks. So the next one is the wheels. I bought the JR11 wheels, and they were around, I rounded it up, but they were 904 euros. That was without the tires, so just the wheels. I am very lucky because the guy that I bought the car from already installed some fresh new wheels for the winter and the summer sets, so that was awesome. But yeah, just the wheels were 904. Yeah, so the last thing is the thing that you hear in the background when I shift, or when I give it some gas and then shift, or then that's a Turbo Smart 50/50 blow-off valve. I bought it for 150 euros. I installed it myself. I have another video that I will link in the link right now, how to install it. It's awesome. It makes a whoosh sound when you shift or when you let off the gas while accelerating. It's awesome. So not really necessary, but fun to have. I paid 150 euros for it, so yeah, you can choose to do it or not, doesn't really matter. So that makes the tuning part of it come to a total of 1,344 euros, and that's from all the tuning parts together. So honestly, also not that bad and optional, so you really don't have to do it, except the high pressure fuel pump. That's a must in my opinion to have. I sold my old wheels when I bought the new ones. I had two sets, a winter and summer set. I sold my Somerset for 250 euros. So I didn't calculate it with the grand total of it all, but I get 250 euros back. So now the moment that you've all been waiting for, what is the grand total of everything that I spent on this car in a 1 year ownership? When I saw this number, I was a little bit shocked, to be honest. I didn't think it would be that much actually. When you put everything in a row like this, you normally wouldn't do that. You just drive and you think whatever. But yeah, now you see the number, and it was a little bit shocking because I know a lot of people who, you know, lease a car and have to pay like an X amount a month for driving the car, and I always said, damn, that's so much money for just driving a car, you know. So the grand total of it all was 5,437 euros. Yeah, I was pretty shocked with that number. I didn't think it would be that much, honestly. So that comes around a little bit more than 500 euros a month. But then you have everything like maintenance and tuning, and you can, you know, without the tuning it would be less. So maybe it isn't that bad. I hope to hear from you what you spend on your cars. What is it annually, if you know a little bit about those numbers, or you have never thought about it and you maybe want to share your information. I'm really curious what you spent on your car. Maintenance stuff is always very boring but very important, so don't cheap out on it. So that was my review of the 1 year of ownership of this Mazdaspeed 3. Before I go, I just want to say this car is awesome, and every penny, euro, seconds, time, everything I spent on it is more than worth it. I absolutely love this car. I don't really give a shit about the money. I don't buy this type of car just to be, you know, cheap or whatever. I buy it because I love cars, I love tuning, I love being busy with it, driving it, whatever. So for me, I don't really care about the money, but for some people that's important. I just want to let you know how much it costs when you drive this car in the Netherlands in particular. So yeah, I'm really hoping to hear from you guys what you think about these numbers. Do you think it's okay? You think it's too much, or you think it's cheap for considering what you have to pay? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to see other topics or something else about this car, also let me know in the comments below. If you have critique or whatever on my videos, also let me know. So if you like this video, make sure to subscribe and like. It really helps with the algorithm from YouTube. More people will see my videos, and yeah, that just helps the channel out, and I can keep making more and better videos for you to watch. So it's a win-win situation in my opinion. So anyways, thanks guys for watching. I will see you in the next one, and remember, keep on modding.